Good morning from day 104 on the AT. So it's a little after, a little bit before 8 o'clock. I'm maybe a couple of miles in for the day. But yesterday took a funny turn. So I was running low on water and I stopped in at Bake Oven Shelter, which was maybe 17, 18 miles for the day. I'm at that point. And it was the only water that I could see for maybe 5-10 miles, and I was dry, completely out. But the water was 0.4 off trail all the way down the bottom of the hill, and boy, let me tell you, it was a long way down and steep and rocky and just a terrible water effect. But so I got into the shelter, and there was someone at the shelter, but I didn't say hello to them. I was like, hi, but didn't stop to chat. I just was like, I'm going to get water, and I headed down. So maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes later, I stumble back up with 2 litres of water, and puffing and panting, very out of breath. As I say, it was a rough climb. And I get talking to the person who's still at the shelter. It turns out she's a member of the ATC and is there measuring up for improvements or maintenance. Ooh, look at this little dude on trail. Hey buddy, you're okay. Leave him be. Yeah, love that there are tortoises up on the ridgeline here. Crazy. Anyway, so she was there measuring up to make improvements or fix modifications or fixes, general upkeep on the shelter, because it turns out that there are porcupines who love to chew on that shelter, and it's the oldest shelter in Pennsylvania. So I'm talking to her, and she and I share my water because I've gone down and got it, and I've got, so I can spare some because she looks like she's running low. She's like, oh, and that's fine. She doesn't need much, but if I've got spare, then great. So I top her up a little bit, and we're chatting, and she says that she's actually she runs a hostel, which is not on Far Out this year because she's hiking, or going to be hiking with her sons. But if I want somewhere to stay, then here's her number. Give her a call, and she's happy to come pick me up and whatever. And she gives me her name, which is Mary Poppins, MERY Poppins, which is obviously a trail name, very funny, and so had a little giggle about that. Her family's from Tilbury, and I'm from Oxford, so yeah, a little chuckle. And I bid her a good evening and say, look, I may stop in, I may give her a call or a text later, but I'm aiming for pushing on, and well, probably not, but thank you so much. So she gives me kind of a knowing little nod and wishes me well. And so I hike on for another 2.5 miles. So get to like 20-ish miles for the day. And there's a water cache, like some trail magic in a cooler by the side of a road. So the woods open up, and you probably saw the footage yesterday. And there's Mary's name in there, along with details of the hostel. So I'm like, well, what are the chances? Now, she told me that there was going to be sodas coming up, at that gap, but you never know if there's going to be stuff left or not left, because people go through and Trail Magic gets gobbled up quickly. So I'm very grateful for the soda, and I'm sitting there and thinking like, oh, this was great. What a star Mary is, and really appreciate the soda. I took the last one, so I felt a little guilty, and I went, oh, but my feet are hurting, and I still feel like I've got five miles or so to go. So I'll take a break here, and I sit down on the side of the road and have some snacks, rest my feet a little bit, drink my soda, and then I start thinking, I'm like, okay, where am I going to stay tonight? Like I'm looking for tent spots, and because there's not really any there, or maybe okay, that's fine. I'll figure it out when I get there. Okay, I'm going to start hiking again in 5 minutes. No, in 10 minutes. No, another 5 minutes. And my body just, I guess I didn't really want to hike. I was tired, my feet were hurting. It had been a rough section. Not rough, in terms of not enjoying it, still absolutely loving it. But rough as in battered my feet, and I nearly stood on a black rat snake, which would have been sad. And then shortly afterwards, like about 2 minutes afterwards, I nearly stood on a rattlesnake, which would have been extra sad for me probably, because it although it showed no interest in me at all at the time, I'm sure if I'd have stood on it, it would have been different. But anyway, so I'm a little bit mentally fatigued from all the rock hopping and the snakes and everything, and I'm thinking, oh, okay, 5 more miles, or I'll just camp somewhere short of what I'd planned to do. Let's get going. And at that moment, Mary turns up in her car. So she turns up, and she's got more sodas and more water to fill up the cache. Top up her Trail Magic. And she gives me a happy wave, like, hey again, soap, and says, oh, I've just managed to top this up, and now I'm just going to wait for Steps. And Steps is another hiker that I've passed a couple of times during the day, and apparently she turned up to the bake oven shelter, similar to me, and looked exhausted, and Mary offered her a place at the hostel, and Steps said yeah. So she hiked down to that road, and Mary was going to pick her up. And I took this as a sign of people trying to tell me something. And so I said to Mary, is that offer still available? And she said, absolutely, with a big knowing grin on her face. She said, I knew that it would be nice to get off those weary feet. And she was dead right. So hop in her car, drive off, because she's a fair way off trail. But she comes and does this all the time. And I say to her, like, oh, how much to charge? For the hostel? Nothing. It's donation based. If you want to help out, then great. But if not, it's free. She just, her and her husband love to help hikers. And do what they can. And I'm blown away by that. Her place is fantastic. Great setup there. There's a communal room up top on the ground floor when you go in, with a TV, with Netflix and DVDs, Blu-rays, all that kind of stuff. There's free food and drink in the fridge. Like locally made lemonade, locally made green tea, stuff that's been donated by other hikers, locally made ice cream and so forth. And then downstairs is a bunch of cots. There is a shower, there's laundry, everything. It's just fantastic. The ridge runner for the area, he stays with her when he's not on trail, but he was out on trail, so I didn't get to meet him, although maybe I'll see him in this section, who knows. Yeah, so absolutely fantastic setup. I donated what cash I had on me, because again, anything that can help help with continue to run that place is fantastic. So I don't believe she watches any YouTuber or anyone watches this, to be honest. But thank you, Mary. That was fantastic. So anyway, dropped off this morning, hiking now. Planning to do maybe 26 miles all the way to Wind Gap. There is thunder and rain expected later in the day. So probably all night tonight and then tomorrow. My goal is to try and get there's a couple of rock climbs, like not scrambling, actual rock climbs, coming up in the next sort of 5 to 10 miles. So my plan is to hopefully be over that before the rain comes down, and then again, I don't mind getting wet, but ideally I'd like to avoid as much wet rocks as possible. So we'll see. Gadget and Sassafras were both a little miffed that I was out off trail last night, as they both camped up in various different places. But as I said, as I messaged them, like, I'm sure they could have come and stayed if they'd wanted to, but I think they're both very much enjoying their individual camping bits at the moment before we all sync up again. But anyway, enough rambling. Holy moly, I've just noticed how long I've been talking for. Right, happy hiking. As you can see, everything's a little hazy, socked in. Yeah, that doesn't help. Yeah, so with the storms on the way, I guess there's mist and stuff up here that apparently wouldn't normally be up here and wasn't up here yesterday. So interesting. We'll see how long it takes for something to break. Very cool, like a ridgeline type section. You've seen some of the views, but then on top, again, real pretty. Few trees here. There's a bypass somewhere. I'm guessing is over there, maybe, and joins up. But yeah, it's beautiful. Great walking. A little detour. I'm pretty sure I'm going up that thing, all the way up there. So that's going to be fun. And then across the bridge over here. So. Yep, definitely looks like I'm going straight up that thing. Whew. Fun times. Very pretty. Apart from very busy road. And this is Northampton County. Cobblers. That's a UK joke for anyone who understands Northampton are the Cobblers. UK football joke. Duck down there. Very pretty. I'll just come down off of there. Down. And then I'm gonna go up there. Love it. Nice little down and then up. Now, I have heard that there is a pretty sketchy is probably not the wrong word, but like there's a rock climb. So actual rock climbing. And the weather looks okay. So yeah, the winter trail, I guess, is the bad weather bypass. Palmerton, here we come, and then up. I'm not sure how much footage I'll get because how sketchy it might be, but I will try and bring you stuff. Whew. Great views. Straight down. And then straight up. Whew. Yeah, definitely. This is definitely the trickiest bit we've had so far, even from Georgia. And the rocks just keep on coming. And still, they keep coming. Whew. Yeah, definitely wouldn't want to be doing this in the wet. Whew. Rocks. More pop outs. Whew. And of course more rocks. Not bad at all. Feet hurt, but not bad. I'm like 8 miles in to a potential marathon, 26-mile day. So not even a third. My feet hurt, but it is only 10:30, so time is on my side. And this is very cool. Hey, someone seems to have left all their rocks over there. Maybe there's a shortage of rocks. Good to stockpile them though, just in case you're ever running short. Wouldn't want to run out of rocks. Ah! I'm so funny. Okay, so it's a little off trail, but Milwaukee and I are gonna check out some skiing.
Oh yeah, dude.
Or burgers and
Skis.
yeah, better way to get down the mountain. So a nice little stop off at the slope side ski resort. Now it is a little bit off trail, so maybe 0.6. So a 1.2 mile round trip. Is it worth it? Possibly. I mean, it was a good burger. It was nice, and it was great to hang with Milwaukee for lunch. Thank you to Milwaukee if you see this. I will get the next lunch. that guy was quick with his credit card. But yeah, so it was decent, and it's nice to go and sit inside, and good they had restrooms and power outlets and charging stuff, and it could be a really clutch place if you were like, if it was a super hot day or a super wet day. Could be a good place to go and kind of take a little bit of a shelter. But yeah, I probably didn't need it, to be honest, but you don't know that, so you got try the adventure, see, check out these little side trails, check out these little things. Otherwise, I'd always be wondering what was the ski resort like. I don't know what's going on with my hair. I've got this weird little quiff thing going on. Yeah, who knows? Anyway, enough of this. Time to get back on trail. I've got maybe 15-ish miles to do. So I've done about 12 miles so far. This morning it is nearly 1 o'clock. So 15 miles. There is the rain seems to be forecast for about 8 o'clock. Someone else said that they saw it was going to start around 2. But everything I've seen kind of points to it being a later 8 o'clock-ish. So based on it being 8 o'clock, I'd love to be able to get into Wind Gap by 8. So 15 miles in 7-ish hours should be doable. It's not particularly speedy to crush that. Now, the X factor that I don't know is obviously what the terrain looks like, how rocky it is. Are there any scrambles like there were this morning? I mean, it looks like it's ridgeliney and fairly flat, so I'm imagining it's going to be okay. No particularly huge scrambles, but we'll see. We can give it a try. Again, the advantage I have of trying to push into Wind Gap is that it's a town, so there'll be, I don't need to worry about arriving too late. But yeah, we'll see. Time to get hiking again. Okay, it's about 3 o'clock. I am 18 miles in. So about 9-ish to do into Wind Gap. So time-wise should be okay. Energy levels are okay. I'm a bit thirsty. Rationing water at the moment. There is potentially a water cache in a little over a mile at one of the gaps, like car park. But Mary told me that apparently in previous years or months or whatever, there's been a guy who's just gone and emptied out the water cache or slashed the bottles, because when he through hiked the AT, he didn't have this kind of support, and we're making it too easy and they're too soft. So hopefully that's not happened. Hopefully that guy is letting people hike their own hikes. Now there are water sources off trail. They're like half a mile or so, and after yesterday's hellacious climb down, I'd rather avoid similar if I can, especially say I'm trying to do this 26-27 mile day into Wind Gap. So we'll see. Got maybe about a mile to the car park where hopefully there'll be water. Then if there is, I will chug a bunch of it, camel up, take a bit of a break with some snacks, and then push on to do the last 9 miles or so. If there's not water there, then I'll have a look at my options in terms of where the best place to go and get water is, and then what that does to my timetable, and whether or not I'll be how late I'm going to be getting in I say, I don't feel like there's going to be a huge problem getting into Wind Gap. I just need to make sure that I'm suitably hydrated, because obviously the longer I'm hiking, the more tired I get, and especially if I'm short of water, then that can lead to problems. And I don't want to injure myself any more than I am already. The feet are definitely feeling it today, particularly like on kind of the edges, so up by both my little toes, by the toe on my right foot, by the back left heel on my left foot, and then my entire heel on my right foot, all taking a bit of a pounding as as my foot rolls in ways that it's not used to, and my shoe moves and rubs in ways that, again, it's never really moved before. So don't think I've got any blisters from it yet, just say sore spots on the feet. I've got a decent amount of leukotape on the hot spots on my right foot in particular, that I was feeling yesterday. The left foot stuff is newer today, but yeah, so chances are I may just need to maybe pop a couple of blisters if I've got them, or hopefully I won't have them and I can just whack some leukotape over the top of it and try and ride it out. Say I've got, if I can get this mileage into Wind Gap tonight, then it should only be like 17 miles into Delaware Water Gap tomorrow, and that should be potentially the worst of Rocksylvania over. Now obviously it continues, and there's also some rocky stuff in New Jersey too, so not finished with it by any means, but if I can get to Delaware Water Gap, and I'll probably take a day off to maybe just soak my feet in Epsom salts for the whole day or whatever, but I can relax a little bit there. So anyway, enough rambling again. I'll hopefully fill you in on my successful completion of this day later. Okay, there was water at Smith Gap, which is good, and so I filled up, had some snacks, I had a chat with a couple of hikers there, so Quirk, who is working in conjunction with Boomer, shuttling back and forth, so one of them drives, and then one of them walks northbound, one of them walks southbound, and then they cross over, give each other the keys and carry on. So it's a clever little way to manage that kind of stuff. And Uke was there, and then a couple of other people that passed through. But yeah, so I'm just over 21 miles for the day. It is 4:20, and I've got just under 6 to go, so hoping to get into Wind Gap and a place called Detsy's Tavern by about 7 o'clockish. So Detsy's Tavern has, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this, who knows at this point, hiker brain. So Detsy's Tavern has like a field behind it, behind the bar, where they allow people to camp, apparently. So we'll go and check it out. Now, it is supposed to rain and thunder later, potentially starting around 8 o'clock, but who knows. Now, I have seen comments that say that the people at Detsy's allowed people to sleep on like a porch area for the restaurant, like a covered terrace type of area. So I'm kind of hoping they allow that for me, but again, we will see. I can, all I'll do is I'll see what they're offering, see what what can happen, give them my best sad British face. Just a sad British boy. Please don't let me drown. And just hope that they don't remember that Britain's usually wet. So like, you're used to this. But anyway, these last 5.5, 6 miles are not going to hike themselves. So onward. I love a view of an industrial estate. Ooh. About a mile in now. Left to do. It is just about 6 o'clock. So miles not too bad. The foot pain is something else. This has definitely been rough on my feet and my knees, but kind of expected to a degree. Yeah, let's get this last mile done and potentially grab a shower. There's a Gateway Motel, I think it's called, that offers showers for like $10 or something. So I may go there once I've sorted out my tent and stuff at Tetsy's, but we'll see. Anyway, bye for now. This is Tetsy's cabin. Great place, and the only very, very